What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian? How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing good. I actually have another name I forgot to mention. Sorry, JJ. I'm gonna have to just hold on for a second. I have a new moniker. Guys, I'm Iron Man.
Where did you get those glasses at?
Amazon, dude. You type in Tony Stark glasses on Amazon, they pop right up. This was my Halloween costume. I had an Iron Man shirt and these glasses, and I shaved my beard to look like Iron Man. It's kind of hard to tell.
Oh boy, you even got the little points at the end. Look at you,
the little points and everything. So,
man.
But
Kevin Feige would be proud right now. He's like, man, that brand marketing is working, baby.
You know what? Robert Downey Jr. Died. Rest in peace. So if they need a new Iron Man, they can hire me. I'll gladly take over. Because that's how it works, right? It was Robert who died, not Iron Man, correct? Or did I get that wrong?
Right. Wait. No. Other way. Other way.
Shoot. Okay. Iron Man's dead. Oh. Well, maybe I can be his...
Are we TMZ now? Are we falsely reporting on people's deaths?
No. Yeah.
Maybe
it's going to be trending on Twitter tonight. Hashtag Robert Downey Jr. and everyone's going to be freaking out.
Can you instead, can you try out to be the next Robert Downey Jr.?
Oh.
Instead of worrying about Tony Stark, maybe you could just take over, but then you'd have to start doing coke. So just saying.
I mean,
you have to start and then stop.
Oh,
you have to start, have a crisis, go to jail, come out, stop, and then be the biggest actor in Hollywood for 10 years.
I mean, with the amount of money he has now, I'll do whatever it takes. And also,
but will you do whoever it takes? That's what the real question is.
Oh man,
that's Hollywood.
That question's coming from yours, everyone's favorite host. Let's just get down to brass tacks here. We all know it's true because he's gone for 1 week, and that's not true. Everyone was bagging on you last week because you look like a dummy. Yeah. You made yourself look like a fool. Yep. But the one, the only, JJ Purdom.
Welcome back.
Thank you. And you know what? Keep that excitement coming, boys, because I got to tell you, the sheer joy the two of you guys were exhibiting on the show last week when you realized an hour in that your best friend, that your amigo, your compadre, your compatriot was gone. It was epic. Your laughter and your sheer joy over, how do we forget JJ? And here's the deal that really kicked it off, and I mentioned it to Adrian earlier on before. Adrian literally laughed for a good 2 solid minutes after
I had
whole
tears.
Joke was,
I had tears for sure.
No, you were full wiping, and I was like, oh man, that really tickled him. And so
it
you know
still
what?
Kind of does.
and because of that, I was like, you can't be mad at it. I can't be mad at it. That's amazing.
That's amazing. I was like, I don't know what it was. I swore up and down, we covered it, that JJ's not here. No problem. And then Garrett goes, actually, we forgot JJ wasn't here. And I said, oh my God, he didn't say that. I just assumed.
Now, JJ, did you just watch our TikTok there, the little clip, or did you actually watch the whole episode?
No, I watched the whole episode.
Okay, so you also heard the part where we bagged on you because you sent me a text in the middle of the show saying, hey, are you guys recording an episode? And I'm like, JJ, I talked to you an hour and a half ago and said, we're recording a show.
Okay, well, so in my defense, I want you all to know that I am technologically challenged. We've discussed this before. JJ has a hard time. He's got an 18-year-old kid who turns the computer on for him every single time he goes to record. And she's moving. She's getting married soon. How the hell am I going to do this? I don't know.
Boy.
But I do. My 10-year-old knows how to set the VCR and whatnot. I'm just kidding. We don't have a VCR. But he knows how to do a lot of stuff, so he'll probably have to figure that out or have sister show him how to do it. But no, what had happened was I never saw the Super Gamer Boys Twitch stream come across my phone. And so I looked on there real quick and I didn't see it. And I thought, oh no, Adrian couldn't do it as well. And then I happened to come home a little bit earlier than I thought. And I was like, I don't care. I'll just stay up late tonight and I'll be the savior. And then Garrett and the rest of the people, the plebeians, the normal ones, they're going to be like, oh man, JJ stepped up to the plate like a hero. and save the day like Superman, like the fat Superman that he is.
So let me get this straight.
Instead, we just roast you on the show because you're trying to call me, and I'm like, JJ, I'm trying to record here, and you're like calling me on the phone. Oh my god!
So you were like, nobody's recording right now. Let me do a solo show by myself and save the day. That was the plan.
No. I thought Garrett without a co-host just can't fly alone because we all know Garrett's not truly funny.
Okay.
So I was saying I could come in and assist G Money on getting it done. You know, that's what I was saying.
Got you.
And then I realized my gaffe when I'm like, oh no, they're actually doing the show. What an idiot. And then I heard you guys roasting me and I'm like, oh, that's cool. No, that's good. That's fine. That's great. It's good stuff. I love it.
Oh, man. Oh, Sucks in the chat says, should have just answered the call and let JJ field the segment. I should have done that with like whatever news story we're in the middle with, answer and be like,
and just let
JJ,
him drown.
JJ, what do you think of that news? And just see what you said. Man. Next time.
He would have got right into character too. Oh, it would have been perfect.
And I would have freaking rolled with it, dude. Like,
oh man, so good. Well, it's good to have you back, JJ. Even though it was fun having the spotlight for a little bit, me and Adrian were able to kind of share it, other than just solely on you like it normally is. It was nice to finally be out of the darkness. Glad to have you back, and I don't know.
Let people know we exist.
Yeah, I'm just glad that when you guys do definitely exist, and obviously without the two of you guys, this show wouldn't be going because I can't figure out computers. But I'll tell you what, honestly, just to see that you guys like took the ball and rolled with it, and you guys are genuinely hilarious. I just think that you guys carried the show off without me and my inappropriate humor and whatnot. You guys did a phenomenal job, and so it makes me feel better when I do have to. I have a lot of irons in the fire, and what I mean by that is I don't even have a job, but I'm busy. I'm very busy with
what are you
Nebraska life,
about?
So
he's got some big stuff going on, all right?
Yeah, I'm a mover and a shaker, guys. You don't even know. It's lots of stuff.
Okay. Well, thanks again. Like I said, thanks for joining us again. But today we're going to be talking about Amy Hennig's new Marvel game. WB's new fighting game featuring Lebron James versus Gandalf. The fight that everyone wanted to know the answer to. Who's going to win, LeBron or Gandalf?
I guarantee you somebody's actually asked that question before.
I mean, if they haven't before, it has
They're
been
going to do it now.
It's definitely been asked now, and we will know the results maybe soon. Who knows? And Nintendo's new expansion pack's having some hiccups. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Toby Dalton and Quote Joma. Shout out to you guys for supporting us over there at Patreon producer level. Thank you so much. We'll even get one of Quote Joma's segments later on in the show here. We're gonna have a little tall tales with JJ. That'll be fun.
I need him to start saying. I need him to say something out of pocket because it's about time to change his rotating name. It's time for him to get a new name.
Right. Yeah. So maybe he'll stop by the show later. He usually stops by about halfway through the show, and let's just we need, if he doesn't do it himself, we need to like kind of coax him
goad it out of him.
We gotta goad it out of him there. Also shout out to our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Brent Fox, and Mama Mare. So thank you all so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can go over there if you want to support us, just like those awesome people do. You can get episodes early and ad-free, such as this one, such as our Super Gamer Book Club, which there's a new one coming out this Friday. It will be Cadence of Hyrule with Trouser Schnauzer. Excited to record that one tomorrow. We're going to be recording it soon. And then last month's is available with Little Nightmares with Raider Rat there. That was a fun one. I'm trying to think, what's the next one to come out for free there? Is it Hades? I think it's Hades.
Yep, with Boba.
So this Friday, Cadence of Hyrule with Trouser Schnauzer is coming out to our Patreon supporters, and Hades with Nate Fletcher, is coming out on the free feed. So if you go to any podcast service and type in Super Gamer Book Club, you'll get that there. So yeah, check it out though. Support us, because otherwise you got to wait 2 whole months to get these awesome episodes. And Cadence of Hyrule was a really fun game with some
top-notch,
pretty killer music. But we'll talk more about our Patreon later. Now it's time to check the mailbag.
I don't got one this week.
Oh, man.
Wait.
Okay.
I lied. Why don't you ask your glasses?
Oh, shoot.
Check.
What's her? I don't know. I haven't named her yet.
What do you mean you haven't? There's Friday.
No, but that's Tony Stark's. I'm the new Iron Man.
Oh, okay. I guess we got to figure that out. What do you got?
What if I called it? No, I was gonna say, what if I called it Kajoma?
You're gonna call it Otacon.
I was gonna say, what if we call it Kajoma? But that'd be really annoying to hear that all day. This Kajoma.
Oh boy. Mr. Stark, there's a KFC right there. You could get a superior sandwich. All right.
Oh, that was Toby.
Oh, that's right.
Both of our producers are just absolutely.
Their bad takes are just so interchangeable. It's like I don't.
Selk says my AI's name should be Doris. So there we go. I don't know what that stands for. I'm sure he has. I was gonna say acronym, but
you have to have what it stands for ready to go if you're gonna submit a name.
Yep.
So we could do Doris, but it's got to be a banger, whatever the acronym stands for. So. Go ahead, Selks. Shoot me what you got.
Meanwhile, Doris, do you mind bringing up the mailbag questions for this week? You guys can't hear because it's one of those things where it's like it's through the bone, like the sound waves.
The ear bones, like the codec?
Like a codec in Metal Gear. So I can hear it, but you... So
yes,
sorry.
Of course.
It's the cochlear bone is what you're looking for.
Cochlear.
Typically when... No, it's cochlear because it's like what Tony Stark... It's like what Tony Stark snorts. So...
Okay, so I see that. Directly original, ridiculously intelligent sunglasses. Perfect. Nailed it.
Intelligence. I would say intelligent.
Okay. Intelligent sunglasses. All right. So Doris, thank you so much.
Directly original, ridiculously intelligent sunglasses. There we go.
I like that. Okay, I see this first question. Enhance. Okay, now I can read it. Sorry, these also have...
It's in your eyes already. How much more enhanced does it have to be?
It also has variable prescriptions, so it can change depending on who's wearing them. It's genius.
Oh, yes, the nanobots. They can move themselves to change the lens.
Sir Prince-a-Lot asks, what is Hunt Showdown and why should everyone give it a go? Now... This has not been confirmed nor denied, but maybe Sir Prince-a-Lot works for the development team. It kind of sounds like an advertisement for the game.
This sounds like an ad that we did not get paid for.
It sounds like an ad, but it's fine because I absolutely love this game. And what is Hunt Showdown? It's a multiplayer game that's both PvP and PvE, where 12 people are dropped on a map, and with teams up to 3, so potentially up to 4 teams. And the goal
takes place in the backwoods of Kentucky. And so what ends up happening basically is you're dropped in the backwoods of Kentucky where there's nothing but inbreds in this giant forest. And you basically have to get from cabin to cabin without getting banged by people you may or may not be related to.
You had it pretty close up until that point, honestly.
That's the simulator you're thinking about. This is the other game.
This is the other game.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I'm sorry.
More people need to play this game because... So the idea is there's a big bad monster on the map, sometimes 2, where you have to find clues, hunt them down, kill them, banish them, take their bounty, and get out without being killed by the environment. There's other zombies and crazy creatures and stuff, and other players who are also trying to get that bounty. So it's a dope multiplayer game that not enough people play, and it's cross-play on console. So if anyone gets it on Xbox or PlayStation, let me know, because Sir Prince-a-Lot and I would love to play with you. We played it on Spooky Gamer Boys, so go watch the vid.
So go and download with using code Super Gamer Boys.
Yeah. And oh man! All right, now here's his real question though. Was reminiscing with a friend about old Sega Genesis games, particularly licensed ones that we remember being good: Jurassic Park, Spider-Man, Power Rangers, etc. What are some of your favorite oldies licensed games? And he says Aladdin and Lion King are cop-outs, so not allowed to claim those. But what are your favorite licensed games?
I'm going to say that I'm a big fan of all the Simpson games that were on Genesis. I know Super Nintendo had them too, but I remember Genesis had a version where it was Bart versus the Mutants. And that is really a great game. I actually played it on an emulator maybe like a year ago. And it's a lot of fun where you're basically like jumping up and down on aliens or on like human beings' head and then like exposing that they're aliens and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. And it's with all the great Simpsons humor. So if you've never played a Simpsons game on the Genesis, you're missing out because that's a lot of fun. And so that's the only one that pops in my head when you say Aladdin, and so you're taking away like the ones that like jump out at you right away, you know.
Exactly.
But
That's why I said that. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's gonna be like, oh, Aladdin, totally, 100%. For me, it's not a Genesis game, but just an oldies licensed game on PS1. A Bug's Life. So it is a Disney one, but dude, A Bug's Life. I was all about that. Have you guys ever played that one?
No, but I know of it.
Okay. It is absolutely horrendously hard. Like, it was a very, very difficult game, especially as a dumb kid. I vividly remember this one map, even, where I think you're in like, I don't know if it's a desert, but it's like super dry, so it's all like cracky and stuff like that. Like, and you are, well, initially you're trying to fly over the cracks. You're gonna hold on to like a dandelion, and you got to like go from like fan. There's flowers that are like fans that'll blow air, and so you got to go from each one, and you have just enough distance to get to the next one. So if you like make a wrong turn, you're screwed, and you fall in the crack and you die. Or like the bird, I think it's a bird. A bird comes, swoops down, and gets you. And man, it was so hard, and I got stuck in that level for, it feels like years. Like, it feels like it took me years to finally like get it and figure it out. But even as hard as it was, I adored that game so much. I love the movie though. Growing Up, A Bug's Life, I think is a hugely hugely underrated movie. I feel like I rarely hear anyone talk about Bug's Life. It's a fantastic Disney movie. It's a great Pixar.
Ants who?
Yeah,
there is.
Right?
Yeah. Get out of here. Mine would be the Mickey Mouse games on the Genesis, the Castle of Illusion and the World of Illusion. I guess just he said Aladdin was off limits, and he said Lion King was off limits, but he didn't say Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion and Quackshot, all on Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Perfection.
Genesis had a lot of those.
They did, and they were all
games.
good.
They were all great. The other one that stands to mind, like if anything, for an honorable mention for me, is Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. That was a really great game. Yep. Really fun platformer.
Selk said Goof Troop, I see you. Absolutely.
Goof Troop.
Played that.
Yeah, it was on Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, I don't recognize that one. Yeah, there's
You don't know Goof Troop? Max and Goofy?
Oh, I love that show, but I didn't know there was a...
Oh, you're about to break my heart. My goodness.
Remember, I grew up watching the original Goofy and stuff like that.
Okay.
The black and white one.
Yeah, you know.
You know, cool 1938. You know how it goes.
Yeah, you know.
Oh my gosh. All right. Next question comes from quote Joma himself. There are so many Disney Plus Star Wars shows coming out. What's a show that isn't announced that you would like to see? Once again, quote Joma just coming in with the heat with these questions that just perfect.
Didn't grow up a big Star Wars fan, but man, I want to see me some Jabba the Hutt backstory. Now, here's the deal. You got a fat guy who just sits around, who's got a thing for human chicks. You know, you're thinking like Princess Leia as a slave girl. And that doesn't make sense. Like, how's that going to work out, you know, intimately? Like, you know, I mean, what is he like hiding something underneath the flap? You don't really know what he's working with. But I got to know. And I want to hear the backstory. Was he like, you know, smaller and he just kind of got fatter until he was a big Hutt? You know, did he ever
that's how it happens for everybody.
Right. Did he like meet Pizza the Hutt from Spaceballs at any point in his existence? Could they have possibly had coitus? I don't know.
No.
I'm not really sure if that's a no.
Well,
I mean, it's in the medical dictionary, Garrett. Calm down.
Garrett,
calm down.
Yeah,
my
come
goodness.
On, man. Don't be ashamed of sex, Garrett.
I'm not afraid of what you just said. I'm afraid of where I know JJ's mind is going next and what he's going to say.
I'm listening.
Next.
I'm ready. I got the buzzer right here. We're good.
I'm already 3 steps ahead right now.
I need a buzzer.
I've got them married in a ceremony and like doing some dirty stuff. So if you want me to continue on that story path, I'll gladly. You sure? Okay. Don't threaten me. Don't threaten me, Garrett.
With a good time.
Yeah, with a good time.
Oh my gosh, you guys. For me, this isn't Star Wars, but just Disney Plus, because honestly, Star Wars is one of those things where I really love, but there's just been a lot of it lately, and a lot of good things and a lot of bad things. So I'm just kind of like, I'm just gonna take it as it comes. You know, the new Boba Fett trailer looked great. Star Wars Visions was
Still
incredible.
haven't seen it yet.
Star Wars Visions was incredible. Like there's a lot of good stuff out there, but just Disney Plus in general. And I'm gonna go back over to the Marvel side. I think it'd be cool to have a Black Widow like spy espionage show. I don't know if anything like that's been announced, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Where it's like Black Widow, doing the more like maybe obviously before she's like an Avenger and a good guy. Like give me some of that spy espionage, Black Ops, doing the crazy stuff. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. It'd be a dark show. I think it'd be a lot darker show than what Disney would normally do.
They need to be very careful. Disney needs to be really careful to walk like a fine line, because too much of a good thing is not good. Yeah. So it's like you can't eat pizza every single night. And like some of those Star Wars shows,
I mean, it's okay to have bad opinions.
Can you technically, but more than likely you're going to get diabetes at some point. Yes, it's going to happen. No, I'm just saying, I see a lot of those shows are really, really good. Visions is great. Mandalorian obviously is excellent. Really, really wonderful. I just think that you want to be careful not to saturate the market with too much of it, which I think they're kind of getting dangerously close to doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I really feel like that with Marvel. And I didn't watch the last couple of, I watched Infinity War, but like Black Widow and some of the stuff that's come out recently. Eternals looks great, but I haven't been watching.
I just need to throw this out there. Black Widow, not as bad as everyone made it out.
I don't think anybody ever said it was bad. I think it was just like kind of, it was too late.
Right.
She's already dead. Like there's an attachment to the character because she's been in the series for so long, but I was never fearing for her life. I know she lived.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get too far away from it, Bubba Fletch in the chat does say Jabba the Hutt, more like Jabba the Slut. So there you go, JJ. That one's for you. I
was gonna say, wait, coitus was a bridge too far, but this, right? This gets the green slut gets the green light. Okay.
Little known fact, also my nickname in high school. Go on.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are you all right? You okay over there?
All right.
Garrett, compose yourself. Garrett, compose yourself.
Adrian, you're up. What Disney Plus series would you like?
So the new Ducktales reboot, one of their biggest things was they kind of did their own Infinity War, and they brought in all of the other shows from the Disney Afternoon lineup from back in the late 80s, early 90s that I came up watching. So like your they had the Goof Troop, they had the Rescue Rangers, they had Gummy Bears, all those different kind of stuff. I would love to see them get their own series back, their own reboots, and we can have an all new Disney Afternoon lineup. I think that would be so cool.
Dude, I'm so excited. Dude, that's awesome, man.
They proved that you can do a very good reboot with DuckTales. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to try to do it with the other shows. Like, there's a reason those shows are still well known and, respected to this day, is because they were good. A lot of people came up on them. Mm-hmm. So let's do the whole thing. Let's bring the whole thing back. You already set the groundwork. You got people talking about it. Oh, this was a huge crossover. We never thought we'd see some of these characters again. And here we are. So let's go ahead and let's take it the whole way.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about, time slots on TV or, how is this going to perform in the, what do they call those things? The Nielsen?
Oh, the Nielsen.
Something like that. Yeah, we don't have to worry about any of that. We could just put it on the service and let people watch it. And they got a ton of subscribers already. So why not?
That's the thing about online content like that, just on-demand content. Like, it doesn't matter what time somebody watches it. It's at their leisure. If they want to sit and binge watch all 10 episodes of the new Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers or whatever, it's like...
They can do that. Or they could be like, you know what? I'm going to save this for Saturday morning. So that way I can watch all of them every Saturday morning like I used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So speaking on that, it wasn't that long ago. I already shared it on the show, but I watched... the new Masters of the Universe show, the first part of it that was released on Netflix, with my kids on a Saturday morning. And there was something so special about laying in bed on a Saturday morning, watching the shows together like I did as a kid, that man, it was awesome. So, I could see holding it off and going, I'm going to do it on Saturday morning and make that a destination spot for my watching of this show. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Cool. This last question coming to us hot is Normcore Eddie writes in and asks, what are your top 3 video game soundtracks? He wants us to take decades of video games we've played mostly with incredible scores and soundtracks, and wants us to just figure out how to
throw it all out the window
3.
except for 3 of them.
Yeah, pick 3. So thanks Eddie. Thanks for nothing.
Yeah. That's like taking a couple of your kids and saying like, I really like these 2, and the other one's like, eh.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're all right. You're okay.
It's good.
Right.
It's perfectly a serviceable child, but they're not going to go as far in life as the other ones. You know what I mean?
Just being real.
Right.
Well, you want to just go with all 3 of our picks right off the gate, or do you want to each go one and then
no, just go all 3
and each go a second?
Give it to us.
No particular order. Super Mario Brothers 3, and I choose that one merely because of nostalgia. There's something about the score that I just have that thing in my head, man. You have it, especially if you start playing it a little bit, you just keep that music in your head, running back and forth. It's a lot of fun. I hate to say it because I know that right now, when I say this, these 2 little words are going to cause Garrett to have that thing we call an erection, kids, because it has something to do with the great Hideo Kojima, and that's Death Stranding. Look, he's pumping it up right now.
Yes!
Garrett, how many pumps is it? How many pumps does it take? 3 pumps. There you go. And finished. Yeah. So, and then as far as like a third one, man, it's so hard because there's been so many great ones. But I really like the score from God of War. I think that it's beautiful. And it could be because of the visuals that are attached to it, and maybe just the story just had me in that spot when I was playing through it that just really spoke to me. And as a dad and stuff like that, and a lot of the story from Kratos spending time with his son, like I gotta have a boy who's about that age, and so that music is wonderful.
It's really good. I've listened to that soundtrack a few times with Shep, with my son, and he loves it. He calls it. He's like, "Can we listen to the giant music?" Because he looks at Kratos on the front of it, and to him, Kratos looks like a giant. It's like, "Can we listen to giant music?" I'm like, "Yes, we can. Yes, we can."
I mean, if you don't put on Kratos' theme from that game and feel like you can walk through a brick wall, what's the point?
Yeah, right. What about you, Adrian? You got 3 for us?
Yeah. My first one is Earthbound. I think it's one of the how do I put it? I don't know how to put it other than it's a masterwork to me.
Wow.
It's such a well-crafted, otherworldly sounding set of tracks. And I don't mean that as in like, oh, it's alien. It's like it didn't sound anything like anything else on the Super Nintendo at that time, and it still sounds wildly different than most things. I would say maybe Undertale comes close, but that's because it's like it was directly influenced by Earthbound, so it makes sense that it would have those kinds of chords. But the arrangement, and there's this weird heart to it that it feels like whoever, the composer really cared about how it would make you feel in the moment of the game, or whoever was listening to it, like it would make you think on some kind of experience you had to go back and kind of reflect on that. It'd make you feel a certain way, even if you weren't listening to it inside the game. My next one would be Jet Set Radio. Hideki Naganuma is a absolute monster. He scored Jet Set Radio, and then right behind it was Jet Set Radio Future, and he was like, you know what? I'm going to give you a cool 2-piece combo. Bap, bap. Knocked you out both times. Sample game, incredible. All different kinds of music in there. You had your hip-hop, you had your funk, you had your soul, you had your rock tracks. You had all these guests that he brought on to do their own tracks. It's a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. And then finally for my last one, I think I'm gonna do Transistor. I feel like Transistor is
that Kojoma's
probably
favorite
yeah,
game?
it's Kojoma's favorite Supergiant game.
Yeah.
I think of the 4 games that they've made so far, to me, Transistor has the overall best soundtrack. I think Ashley Barrett's performance, everybody, the composition of the tracks, the way that they make it feel like you're experiencing this story through Red singing it in, you know, this I don't want to ruin it, but she's a singer in a very high level bar, club, whatever you want to call it. But they make it feel like she's telling the story through the songs, and you're there, you're in attendance, and you're you know, listening to the set. But it's done so well, and all the melodies are so good. Darren Korb is an incredible composer. I had the pleasure of meeting and chatting with him and Ashley for a little bit. Yeah. So that was so cool. They signed all my stuff. Of course, I fanboyed out real hard. Yeah, I would say those 3 are definitely in my top of the top, if not at the top. So
nice. So for me, I'm also saying Death Stranding. I mean, but you guys all know that. I've talked about that soundtrack all the time, both the musical soundtrack and the musical score, because that's something else we talked about beforehand, like differentiating. Like, is there a difference? Like, there's sort of a difference, but for the sake of the question, there's no difference. It's all incredible. Metroid Prime 2. I really loved Metroid Prime 2 on GameCube. That soundtrack was killer. I remember, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before too, but leaving it on the menu and like not playing the game, but just turning the GameCube on, letting the menu music just play over and over and over again.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Man, just like it's a CD player or something. It's so stinking good. Love that. And then my third one is also Darren Korb goodness, Hades.
There it is.
Hades soundtrack is magnificent. The just from the lows, like quiet, chill tunes, like in between segments, to like when you're in battle and that electric guitar like ramps up, it's like heck yeah, I'm so freaking.
The song
high.
at the end, song at the end is so good. Oh my god,
fantastic! I love the Hades soundtrack. That's another one too. Like I'll play with, and my son loves listening to it. He doesn't have a funny name for that one. It's not like, you know, devil music or something. That'd be bad. But,
can we play the lava music, Dad?
Yeah. But dude, yeah, fantastic soundtrack. I love that. I mean, honestly, like you said, like Darren Korb's stuff on all of Supergiant's games has been incredible. Like
all of it is great.
He's never missed, but Hades is up there for me.
Supergiant don't miss, man. Nobody on it scares me because just on averages alone, and I know we were talking about this, but it's on my brain. Because of how big of a fan I am, it's going to be so devastating to me if they ever release a flop.
Yeah.
You know, if they ever take an L, I don't know how I'm going to take it, man. They're like one of my favorite studios working today. I don't know if I can handle it. You know?
Oh, it's all right. We'll be here for you. When that does happen, you can cry on my shoulder. I'm here for you.
Like, is there any other studio right now that has never missed?
Kojima Productions.
I mean,
Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog has never missed, not once.
I can't think of one of their games that has been a bunk game or bad. I mean, they've got all the best games. I mean, name one of their games that hasn't been great, and I'll call you a liar to your face.
I'm trying to go back to the.
Did they do that Jack Racing game, or was that somebody else?
That was somebody else. I think the Jack Racing game was another.
What was it called? Jack X or something like that?
Yeah. Games developed.
It wasn't.
And I know Jack 3 wasn't everybody's favorite.
See, and I say that, and then I'm like, was it not them? But I'm pretty sure it wasn't them.
Jack X Combat Racing was developed by them in 2005 for PS2.
Was it?
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
See,
Trash.
Even Naughty Dog has a miss. That's
Okay.
I don't know how I'm gonna take.
Did you guys know that Naughty Dog has been around since like 1985 and made games for the Apple?
Yeah.
I had no idea that they originally made Math Jam, Ski Craze, Dream Zone, Keef the Thief.
Yes, they've been around for a hot minute.
They made Rings of Power for the Genesis.
Early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
They didn't become a Sony developer until I think like maybe 94, 95. So they were making games like 10 years on their own.
Their first PlayStation game was Crash Bandicoot in 96.
Right. So they were a developer for a minute.
Dang.
Or independent for a minute.
That's cool. Crazy.
Then they had to go corpo, lose all their luster. You know how that goes.
I mean, some might say they've made their best games since joining Sony, so I don't know.
I know, I'm making it. Let me have my bit. My goodness. I'm the indie guy. I got to do that.
Well, thank you guys so much for sending in your questions there. We appreciate it. And remember, go over to supergamerboys.com/Discord or find us on any social media service and DM us your questions. However you want to get a hold of us, get those questions to us so we can add them to the show. And talk about them next time. But now it is time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
There we go. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Music to my
I can
ears.
sleep tonight.
Now, this is completely unrelated to absolutely everything. But remember Dan Jam Gent? Remember that boy? Remember that lad?
Love Dan. Yeah.
The name sounds familiar. I think
Dan.
You know, I remember somebody like him who fell off the face of the earth. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he hasn't. He actually's been doing a lot of stuff back in the in Wales. The guy is like the man in making videos now. He's got all kinds of videos that he's been doing, and I'm sure he still listens to the show because he's my brother from another mother and possibly the same father. I'm just saying, my dad really liked British women. Okay. So you never know.
Yeah, I don't know why he just popped in my head, and I was like, I don't know if you're listening, Dan, but I hope you're having a good day. I miss you. He just hasn't been in the Discord. He used to talk in the Discord a lot and like message with us, and that's how I heard from him.
He's running a business.
He used to be on
now,
Instagram. So.
So he's big boss now. Okay.
Yep. He's big. Yeah.
Forgot where you came from, huh?
I see how it is. Big, getting too big for your britches over there. Huh?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I feel like I actually got the matching tattoos to match Dan first, and then I was expecting him to like sim, and he never did. So I feel like maybe that might have been like a short-sighted thing on my part, getting the matching tattoos, getting it first. But I do heart you, Dan, and I got that tattoo, and waiting for you to get yours. So
are you gonna share what and where?
It's on my butthole, so can't technically show that without this being
you got a nice...
not safe for work.
That's against the
it's
TOS
one of those.
Twitch.
It's like a circle because a ring is like a perfect.
And then it's got the Sarlacc teeth right around the rim, right? Okay, so it's a Sarlacc, Garrett. It's Star Wars related. We're good to go.
Wars, okay.
Well, it's more like a starfish, but
yeah.
All right. Well, JJ, I have some news here to hopefully cheer you up. Make sure, get you started here with a fantastic week. You can just think about this the rest of the week. That Marvel announced a new project with Amy Hennig's new game studio. Skydance.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Skydance New Media, the game development studio headed by former Uncharted creative director Amy Hennig, will partner with Marvel Entertainment to produce a new video game, the company has announced Friday. The upcoming title will be a narrative-driven blockbuster action-adventure game featuring a completely original story and take on the Marvel Universe, Marvel said. The companies did not announce which Marvel characters would be featured in the game or a release date or platforms for the project. Hennig joined Skydance in 2019 with the intent to pioneer new ways to tell immersive stories through technology. This upcoming Marvel title will be the first project from Skydance New Media, which was formed to center around story-focused entertainment. I can't imagine a better partner than Marvel for our first game, said Hennig in the announcement. The Marvel Universe epitomizes all the action, mystery, and thrills of the pulp adventure genre that I adore and lends itself perfectly to an interactive experience. It's an honor to be able to tell an original story with all the humanity, complexity, and humor that makes Marvel characters so enduring, and to enable our players to embody these heroes that they love. Prior to finding Skydance New Media with veteran Electronic Arts developer Julian Beek, Hennig was at EA, where she worked on a canceled Star Wars project, and before that, Naughty Dog, where she led development with the Uncharted series. So, and Skydance Media, for those of you who don't know, was founded in 2010 and is up until now produced entertainment for film, television, and interactive and animation. Its recent releases include Foundation for Apple TV Plus, Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, and The Tomorrow War, while its interactive division has released Archangel Hellfire and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, so the VR game.
The Tomorrow War. What in that's Live Die Repeat, isn't it?
No, that's
Tomorrow War.
Tomorrow
War is a...
the guy who's going to be Garfield and.
Oh yes, of course. You mean Mario?
Yes, yeah, Mario and Garfield. Chris Pratt. Yeah, that's his name.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Star-Lord,
Prime
aka
Video.
Garfield, aka Mario, aka guy from Jurassic Park. Don't even know his name in that movie. That's his movie from Amazon Prime.
If you guys haven't seen Tomorrow War, you
No,
guys
I
are sleeping on it. It's an amazing movie. It's on Amazon Prime Video, and it's really a great action flick.
Okay.
So it's worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited about the news you just gave because Hennig is a boss, dude, and anything that she touches is going to be awesome. Like, man, I got to tell you, like, her just getting into bed with Marvel and then talking about producing a game that's just like down my wheelhouse, the kind of stuff that I like. So, like, the only drawback to any of it, honestly, is that it's going to take a few years to get that game in my sweet, greasy palms.
I'll wait.
You know?
If she's writing it, I'll wait.
Yeah.
And apparently another one of another person on the team or on the writing team who I really admire, Mark Bernardin, who is one half of Kevin Smith's Fat Man Beyond podcast, is on the writing team as well. So I'm really stoked about that. He is an excellent writer. JJ, he was actually on the team for the He-Man series.
Well, that makes a lot of sense working with Kevin. Yeah.
Right. So you should definitely be excited for him to be on there as well for that. So
very good.
So they've got a pretty stacked house, a deck of cards over there.
That's awesome. Now what characters would we want? Like, what game are we looking for here? Like,
see, that was what I was gonna say when JJ was like, "There's not many downsides to this." See, there's another one, because we already jumped the gun with Insomniac getting Wolverine. Because I would have wanted her to do a Wolverine game, because she writes action like nobody else.
Yeah, I would have said
mean?
X-Men, just specific, like just a broadcast pen of X-Men, and just going that whole route. But with Wolverine having just been done, it kind of shadows it a little bit. With Insomniac doing it.
That's a tough one. There's a lot of. Maybe she could do Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. Oh, that's where I was gonna go. That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to
I
think.
feel like the Fantastic Four movies from a few years ago, I know that some people were fans, but I feel like that kind of poisoned the well a little bit for Fantastic Four.
A little bit.
Well, there are still people that were excited to, to see the Silver Surfer and, and all that kind of stuff. But
the one who came to Earth and did nothing and warned us about Far Cloud Galactus, that one. Okay, you know what? Time heals all wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Time and counseling. That's what my father-in-law always says. I'm trying to, but like, do you think they pick a property that like we've been seeing lately, like that there's already a movie about, or do you think they're going to try something new? Like, what if they go with something that's new and like, I mean, you said Fantastic Four, but what if we get like, I don't know, Blade,
like an all new character,
like, or even new, even either a Marvel movie that hasn't come out yet, like I just mentioned, like Blade or something like that, or something completely new. Like, do you think they go that far where it's just like,
there's that Blade movie that's already in development.
That's
right?
ways off.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. It hasn't come out yet though. It hasn't come out.
Yeah. So with it having a delayed release of when it comes out, it might be a good idea. I think Blade has a lot of teeth to it, pardon the pun. But you could definitely see that come into fruition as a good game, because it is a killer story.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many possibilities. I'm just trying to think, like, the things, the options that she has, and with the talent that she has and the skill and the team that she has.
Yeah.
Whatever
Marvel
they come
money.
out with, I'm there. And Marvel budget.
Whatever
they come out with, I'm there day one, man.
I feel
You
like
don't
I'm
even
at
have
a
to show me
disadvantage.
anything. You could just put a blank box and say, this is the finished game at the end of the development. And I'm playing it.
Yeah.
I'll buy it.
I'm at a disadvantage because I don't have, other than like the characters that are already established that we already know, the Avengers and like Blade and some of those ones that have already previously had movies in the 90s. I just don't know enough about all the Marvel characters dating back over the last 60 years. So
That's the
I feel
cool
like-
part, though, is that she can use that to make you a fan of whatever character they pick.
Are there still some big ones that we haven't mentioned that are waiting in the wings that can be used, that maybe have a great comic book presence but haven't been used in movies or in TV shows?
Everybody has favorites. I mean, there's at this point 60 years worth of Marvel stories and characters that people could pull from. So I guarantee you there's tons of gems that they haven't even really touched or even pulled out of the vault yet, that people are like, oh my God, I used to love so-and-so comic, or this brand new character is awesome. I can't wait for them to do something with it. Like they potentially have infinite stories that they could tell with a whole bunch of characters that people don't even remember anymore. They could just pull it out and say, hey, you know what? This was pretty cool. Let's do something with this.
Yeah.
So realistically, Amy could do something that we as, or that the collective society hasn't thought about in decades.
Right.
And turn it into something totally brand new and work that into, the new Marvel. Does the Marvel game universe have a name, or is it just that?
As far as I know, nothing. I mean, the only games in it are what?
Spider-Man
and
and Avengers.
But they're not connected, right? Spider-Man and Avengers, they're not. I think they're all separate.
Avengers Towers is in Spider-Man, though.
Right, but the Avengers game, I don't think the story in that is connected at all to like Insomniac Spider-Man.
That's probably for the best, actually.
Well, have you guys heard any feedback on how Guardians of the Galaxy is doing right now?
I've actually heard that it's very good, which is surprising because that trailer me and Garrett watched for, what was that at? Wasn't that at like a PlayStation Direct or something like that?
Yeah, so originally the E3 one looked really good, and then there's another. I think it was a PlayStation showcase or something like that. And we're like, oh,
it was awful. Whatever that trailer was they cut was terrible.
It was Nintendo Direct.
That's it.
Because it's coming to Switch through the cloud. You can play it over on the cloud, and it was just like, this does not look good, at least on Switch. Like
they picked like all the worst jokes, all the flattest moments, terrible music choices. It was just a awful trailer.
Yeah.
But apparently the game as a whole is really good, so I'm gonna have to get to it sooner or later.
Yeah, it's definitely like getting like somewhat mixed reviews, but I don't think anyone's like it's horrible. It's more just like
I haven't seen anything less than a 7.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like either it's really great or it's just like okay. Or like good.
You did pick it up?
I almost picked it up yesterday. I was looking at the trailer again because I remember the great E3 trailer.
Yeah.
And I picked it up and digitally on PlayStation Network, and I was like, I want to watch the trailer, and I wasn't impressed. And to be honest, I'm like, how long has it been out? It's been out for a couple of minutes.
Just a couple
and
days,
I haven't heard anybody talking about it like super positively. So I'm like, maybe it's just not, maybe it's not for me.
No, I mean it's getting positive reviews. Like it's not bad, that's for sure.
It's not like legendary like 9, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 9, 9, nothing like that.
It has a 77 on Metacritic. So it's basically like you round up, it's at an 80. So it's getting on average like between like a 7.5 and an 8. So it's like
which ain't bad at all.
It's good but not great. So it really probably just depends on, what you're into really is at the end of the day. So yeah, good, not great.
If anything, in a couple of months it'll probably be $29.99. Then it's definitely worth it at that price.
Too.
I would jump on it at that price.
But user reviews, it's actually at 8.3. So users are like a little more than the critics. But yeah. I was very, very interested to check out Guardians as well. So maybe we'll talk on that on the later episode. There's the next news stories. Rick could fight Batman in leaked WB multiverse fighting game. Yep, I did not misspeak there. Characters from Rick and Morty, the Justice League, Scooby-Doo, and more could soon be facing off in a Smash Bros-like brawler, if a series of leaks are to be believed. Right now on Twitter, an image is circulating showing the alleged roster of a Warner Brothers crossover game people are calling Warner Brothers Multiverse. The picture shows 13 character icons, including characters from many recognizable movies and shows, as Steven Universe, Batman, Harley Quinn, Finn, Jake, Shaggy, Superman, Wonder Woman, Gandalf, everyone's favorite WB property character, Rick, Bugs Bunny, Tom and Jerry. Oh, boy. Yeah. There's also an unknown character in the top left of the roster, and each character has a symbol attached to them. Includes a fist, a projectile, a sword, a shield, and a symbol that looks like wings. These could represent different class types, similar to Mii Brawlers, Sword Fighters, Gunner types, and Smash Bros. It was originally leaked late last week on r/gaming leaks and rumors, accompanied by a recent trademark for the name Multiverses. GamesBeat Jeff Grubb said WB platform fighter is real, and that it is not being developed by Mortal Kombat and Injustice Studio NetherRealm, as some others have been led to believe. Yeah.
So this is ridiculous, right?
Yeah, we don't need to read much more, but it's a leak that unfortunately is looking more and more like real. Like it's a rumor / leak that's basically, it seems like it's truth, unless because it's like, over the last few days, it's only leaked more and more. I feel like every day there's another leak. So
like this is a game that proposes, hey, what if Shaggy from Scooby-Doo fought Superman?
Yeah, exactly.
And was able to, had some chance to actually win.
I just don't get it. Yeah, and even, this is the best part here. Yeah. In a video on Giant Bomb, Grubb also shared some details about Warner Bros. Multiverses. The video has since been taken down, but industry insider Nibel summed up Grubb's thoughts, who said a source told him the game looked cheap. It could be free to play with future characters sold as DLC, and the first DLC fighter could be LeBron James, thanks to his role in Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Man, I don't know. If I'm LeBron, I'm like, is this really what I want my name tied to? Like, is this really
a Super Smash Brothers clone?
Like,
Warner Brothers has some great characters. Warner Brothers has great characters under their belt, but nobody wants this. Anybody who's hearing it is going, do we really need another one of those things? And especially with games like Fortnite that are ripping the skins out of everything, you're getting to play.
Yeah, you can play as all those characters in Fortnite if you really want to.
Right.
And really, the licensing is there. You don't have to make your own game. Just let Fortnite, license it to Fortnite and let Fortnite get all the glory. It's just a stupid money grab, and it's just getting pathetic. Where like everybody's getting that.
Everybody's trying to make their own thing, and the Nickelodeon one ended up flopping. I haven't heard anybody talking about that after it came out. Nothing, not a whisper. Like everybody got their good one meme off, their one good joke off, and that was it.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm trying to think. Yeah, people played it like the first few days. Like it was even on Twitch. Like people were streaming it. Yeah,
and then everybody was like, actually, this is kind of whack. And then I never heard anything about it ever again.
Yeah, very quickly disappeared. Yeah, this whole WB thing is ridiculous. Like, why would I want to fight Harry Potter versus, Reptar? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is so dumb. And yeah, right off the heels of the Nickelodeon game, why?
I'm good. I'm good.
Smash Brothers is not only like good mechanically, but also
it's also right there.
Yeah, and it's there. It's done. It's ready. They literally have an Ultimate Edition with how many characters? 80.
93. I think it topped out at
93 fighters. Yeah, you're not going to be able to play as Mad Max or Godzilla, but you know what? You can come pretty dang close.
Okay?
Enough other killer characters in there. I don't know why. I just want people to stop. Just don't like.
That's enough.
Warner Brothers. I'd rather you put that budget towards like the next Batman game, or towards your. Like what they have Gotham Knights and they have Suicide Squad coming out. Just divert that whole budget for
let's make sure those are good, please.
Those two, please.
Because you sure did delay those. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, not much more to talk about on that one. Just want to let you all know that this monstrosity may be coming out one day, and who knows?
And don't get it.
Maybe you shouldn't get it.
If you do, they're just going to come up with another game in another 6 months. So you're just feeding the monster. Don't buy this thing, and then stop making that kind of game.
How long before we get like a Disney's brawler?
Oh,
I mean, Disney was. I think, I was like, Disney's like, look, we're dipping our toe with Sora in this, and then that's it. We're not making our own game.
Oh, you don't think they'll make their own?
Absolutely not. They barely let Sora do that.
That's true.
They wouldn't even let Mickey hold a sword. That's why they have Keyblades.
Really?
Yes.
That explains it.
Speaking of Keyblades, I'll talk about later and what you plan, but I finished up Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I love how one of the things you can unlock in there is you can change your wrench to like different weapons, and one of them's a Keyblade, straight up just a Keyblade.
Really? Does it say it like it is?
No, it just says key.
Oh.
But it's like a giant key. It looks just like a Keyblade. And it
has a handle and everything?
That's 100% what I use the entire game. And you can change the color, the skin, and there's a gold one that looks very similar, like the yellow.
So they're just priming you. Okay.
Yeah.
So funny enough, I handed out candy with my church, with the men's group, and there were so many of those characters with the giant keys, and like everybody was like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "That's from Kingdom Hearts." If you guys like only knew that's from Kingdom Hearts, we're like, "Oh yeah." It was like there's so many kids like dressed like that.
Really?
And
awesome.
You were like,
in
"Thank
Nebraska?
God I know Adrian."
Yeah, exactly. And Adrian's the only reason that I knew that stuff. But I try to pretend like I was smart. You know, I'm like, "Oh, how do you guys not know that, dummies?" You know.
Oh man. Well, that's it for that story. This last news story. Players report the Nintendo Switch Online N64 game suffering from input lag, frame rate issues, etc., etc., etc.
You don't say.
Some players who have upgraded their Nintendo Switch Online subscriptions to access the new expansion pack are upset about the performance of the service's Nintendo 64 games. Fans are reporting issues of input lag, sound delays, frame rate issues, incorrect controller layouts. Many issues have been collated into a Reset era thread, which has attracted further submissions from players who are unhappy with the service. Common complaints focus on input lag. User Paftree said, "Input lag is OOT is so bad." What? Oh, or Ocarina of Time in OOT. Okay, Ocarina of Time is so bad. User No Good Names Left echoed this, saying, "Pretty noticeable input lag and audio delay in all N64 stuff so far." They're having issues. Speedrunner ZFG posted his thoughts. He's known for speedrunning Ocarina of Time. He said, noting that this version is worse than the one featured on the Wii U's Virtual Console.
Yikes.
Oof.
And everybody does not like those because they're so dark because they were trying to do that anti-seizure thing. They darkened all the games.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea. So alongside input lag, players are reporting sound effect delays, issues in music playback, as well as a strange button layout problem that reverses the placement of the A and B buttons with no option to remap.
Have you seen the pictures of it? It's so terrible.
No, I haven't.
Of the new button? Oh my God. Do yourself a favor for a good laugh and go look at what they did for that.
Oh, no. Okay. Considering the aggressive price tag on expansion pass, it's understandable why people could be so put off by the myriad of problems that are being seen here. Over on Twitter, user Oatmeal Dome reports that the emulator being used for Nintendo Switch's online N64 games is the same one that was used for Super Mario 3D All-Stars Super Mario 64, albeit stripped of its specific elements design just for Super Mario 64. The results of the emulation was generally praised in that case, or at least seen as sufficient in reviews for Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Despite this, it seems as if there's an emulation problem for the expansion pack games.
I'm gonna go upstairs right now.
Whatever software they're using worked great for Super Mario 64, but everything else...
I'm recording right now.
And that was it.
It is not working at all. And that's a bummer because... I know already a lot of people were down on this because as we talked about on that episode, like a lot of people want the online service for the online service, like you, Adrian. And like after hearing that argument, like that's totally valid and I get that. But then there are some people who use it like an emulator like me. And so for me, I was like, oh, okay, that's a justifiable price. That's great. But for the one feature that now I'm excited about to not be working, now I know how you feel. Now it's like, oh, okay, when the one thing I wanted to do isn't doing that, it's not doing that thing, that sucks. Like, this is why I would pay for it, and it doesn't work. Like, what is this garbage?
And to clarify on that, I'm not against the Nintendo Switch Online, the N64, the SNES, the NES games. I'm not against them doing any of that.
Right.
I think that's awesome that they're putting forth the effort to do that, even though the N64 games are clearly half-baked because they just kind of threw them on an emulator and threw them out there because they know people were asking for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them to have a solid foundation with the online service first, and then we can worry about putting all these games on there. So that's what I'm saying. I think their order of priorities is out of whack. And I was talking with Zetch's Go, on the Discord about it, and he was saying that, you know, most people don't care about the online service or the features or anything like that. And I said that's because they don't make them compelling enough to make somebody want to use it.
Right.
You know? And he's like, yeah, but a lot of people don't use it because they use PlayStation or Xbox. And I said, because the Nintendo service is so bad.
If it was, you know, if the whole, like, what is that phrase? Like, if we make it, they will.
If you build it, they'll come.
If we build it, yeah, they'll come. I'm sorry,
you
I butchered that. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Shut
about.
up, JJ. Shut up.
I didn't say anything. I just like watching you struggle.
If you make a service that is on par with PSN and Xbox, people are gonna want to use it because there are a lot of diehard Nintendo fans in there. I would love to be able to just invite somebody to a game or to tell somebody, hey, if you pick up a Switch, everything that you do on your Xbox, everything that you do on your PS5, you can do it here.
Yeah. But
I can't do that. So that's kind of where I'm at, you know? And then bringing it back to these N64 games is another thing. They're riding on this just by the seat of their pants. They're not really, it seems like they're not taking this seriously, which irks me even more because they're asking people to pay for it.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Pay all this money. Oh shoot! Well, we only tested it with Super Mario 64. We just thought it would work for everything else.
Right? Oh, it'll just work for everything. Oh, what do you mean they need a controller pack to save? Even though we literally made the controller pack for it. Like, what are you talking about here? You made the system. It's not like you guys trying to emulate the Sega games, which from what I understand are actually doing better than the N64 games.
Yeah, I haven't heard any complaints about Genesis stuff at all.
Right. But you guys literally have down to the metal code for the N64. You know how it works from front to back. Why didn't you create an exact emulator for this system instead of trying to use somebody else's and throwing your games on there and not even knowing if it's so... I used to be able to say it's so out of character for Nintendo to do something like this, but
we've said it too often now, though.
We say it too often. I don't think they care as much as they used to. Yeah. They just don't, which is a shame because that seal of quality used to mean something.
Yeah, you saw that gold seal on there.
You knew it was a banger.
You know it was good. Yeah, it really is a bummer. Now, and just to be clear, I actually haven't paid for it and have not tested it yet. But I was like this close to pulling the trigger, and then all the bad news started coming. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm waiting on that one. My current, because I always pay for it for a year. My current subscription still isn't even up yet. So if I did re-up it, I'd be like halfway through one of my subs. So I'm like, you know what?
Right.
I'll just wait until mine's about to expire and then reevaluate at that point. Because at this right now.
If it stays this way, which most likely based on the rate of updates for the Switch itself in the past. Almost 5 years that it's been out, it's going to be like this for a while.
Yeah.
If they decide to do anything with it after that.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, what? We gave you the games. Just fix your internet.
Figure it out.
Right. Golly.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's craziness. But I got, for me too, it's like I have plenty of other games to play than worrying about these old games right now.
Like literal tons. I'm drowning.
As much as I'd love to play his games because I haven't played a lot of them, it's also like, you know what? I can wait. I have time because I have other things to fill my time with. I got a PS5. I got stuff to do. Cool. Well, that's it for our news stories. Now, it's time for Tall Tales with JJ. This is the part of the show where JJ comes out and tells a tall tale. Normally, I think there's supposed to be some theme music here. It's supposed to be a graphic, all this stuff. Still, you know what? Quote Joma, rest in peace. For all I know, he's dead. I haven't heard from him, haven't seen him. So as of now, we are declaring Kojoma's dead.
Rip in peace, my boy.
Rest in peace.
Ghost Joma.
He was a great great producer for while it lasted. But this is his segment, so in his honor, we will still continue this segment. JJ, you have 2 minutes. Set a timer. Give us a story, and then Adrian and I will have about roughly 50 seconds to determine: are you telling the truth or are you full of BS? And then you will reveal.
My detector's on, man. You better do a good job.
Hey, welcome to Tall Tales with JJ. And so I'm JJ. So I tell a story to my other co-hosts here on the show, Garrett and Adrian. And after 2 minutes, they determine whether I'm telling a tall tale or whether it's actually something that happened in my life. So when I was 17 years old, I bought a dime bag of marijuana. That's weed for those plebeians that don't understand what marijuana is. And me and my best friend Dave decided to go and roll a few joints and go smoke some weed at the local baseball field, which is right next to the high school. So we're in the dugout, and I've got a pack of cigarettes, which is how we hid our weed back in the 90s. We'd roll our joints and put them in place of where the cigarettes were. Genius. So while we were sitting there and we had just sparked up one doobie, it's again weed, we're smoking some weed, and all of a sudden, here comes cop lights. And so a cop is just pulled up right outside of the baseball field. And so my friend starts to freak out like crazy. I keep wholly cool. And when the cop comes up, I start smoking a cigarette as he's walking up, playing it totally cool. And he's like, "What's up, guys? Heard you guys are over here smoking." And I'm 17, the other guy's 17, and like my friend David is shaking. The cop says, "You guys smoking, huh?" And he starts smoking a cigarette with us. And so he's smoking a cigarette with us, and he's like, "I'm not going to mess with you guys. It's totally cool to smoke a cigarette." And he goes, "Kind of smells like you guys are smoking weed." And I'm like, "Weed?" And Dave's like, "No, we're not smoking weed." And I'm like, "Yeah, we were smoking some weed." So I'm totally honest, tell him that we're smoking some weed. And he goes, "Let me see it." And I opened up my cigarette pack and showed him that I had a couple of joints in there, and Dave is shaking like a leaf. And at that point, this cop says, "Light it up." And I proceed to light up a joint right in front of him at his behest. He's told me to light it up. And I take a couple of hits off it, and he says, "Now give it to me." And I thought for sure that I was going to have it taken from me. It was not. He took a big fat rip. And that's 2 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
In small town, Podunk, California.
Are you kidding me?
Like, yeah, I think it's true. I think it's true.
There's so many do as I say, not as I do cops out there that are just like, man, whatever. Just
again, especially in those little small towns, like, that's I could totally see
that's
that.
That's 100%.
I think this is a true one. This is last time I thought you were full of BS, but this time I'm feeling it. I think it's real.
All right. So for those who are wondering, it is true. Yes. I had a good reputation for being really, really funny, and all the cops liked me. And so I had a good relationship with them. I was always honest with them. I got caught smoking pot a couple of different times, and I was always honest. And my friends always tried to lie. This time, of course, I can't give his name. He doesn't work there anymore. It was years ago. But he was like, "Dude, you're hilarious. I just like being around you. Keep it cool. Keep it hush. Cops aren't all buttholes, And so really cool story. And yeah, I got to smoke weed with a cop when I was 17 while he was full uniform and everything.
Oh
and no, gosh. I didn't ask him if I could shoot his gun or anything cool like McLovin.
Let me tell you, JJ, you are by far not the only one that has that story.
Oh, wow. I was really hoping it was just a JJ thing.
Oh, no. I guarantee there's a lot of other people out there that are like, "Oh, that's all you did?"
That's all you did with that, officer? Done. Okay, so put it on the scoreboard. I think that puts Adrian at 2 correct guesses. And I'm just at 1 because I didn't believe in JJ last time.
# believe in JJ.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Last week it was # JJ sucks. Now all of a sudden we believe in JJ. Wait a second.
How quick the tables turn.
the pendulum here, dude. Full swing. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kajoma, for pitching that segment. That's always a fun one.
Yeah, and Kajoma, like for a while, I think that we actually were concerned that you and Toby were the same person. I know Adrian and I had that conversation. So I kind of was thinking this week, if you and Toby got married, it would be kind of one of those Benefer things. So why don't we just start calling him Toby Joma?
Tojoma?
Because I feel like if they were to like get married,
Tojoma.
Yeah, Tojoma, yeah. I feel like if they were to get married, it's like one of those like Benefer type of thing where they put their name together. And we've kind of thought they were the same person because they're always like saying similar stuff, you know.
100%. They're definitely the same person.
Okay.
Cool. Well, if you want to pitch your segment on the show and have us talk about crazy things like this, or better yet, if we hit that goal on Patreon, we'll have an extra bonus show coming up. You know what? Let's officially get into the ad here. I'm not even in the ad yet. We're at the ad, but let me
roll
introduce
into it, baby.
Here we go. All right, guys, here we are. We're in the ad now. The music's played. There's music playing right now, some sick music, actually. So go check that out. Oh, shoot. What's the name of the artist?
The what?
The artist who does our ad music. Why can't I remember?
I thought he was your homie. How did you forget his name?
No. This is it's you know what I'm talking about, Adrian.
No, we don't know
Jack
what you're talking about,
Sriracha.
Oh, of course.
Play Fairy Fountain by Jack Sriracha. Go check it out on Spotify. The link's always in the description for that one.
I didn't know you were talking about old Jack.
Old Jack. But yes, we are now in the ad. Welcome. You should go over to Patreon, patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys. You can support us over there starting at just $1 a month, where you can get episodes early and ad-free, where you don't have to listen to us ramble right here, although you miss out on this cool music right now playing in the background. But go check us out. $5 above, you get show notes early. $10, you get shout-outs on the show. $15, that's our Patreon producer tier. That's where you can pitch some sick segments. And we either tell tall tales, or we do Super Indie Boys, or we do losing reviews. That's an oldie but a goodie that we used to do back in the day, where we watch terrible movies. Go support us over there. We'd very, very much appreciate it. And as we mentioned in prior episodes, we do have a goal. If we had $100 a month, we will put out another show. That's right. Show number 3. We have our Super Gamer Boys. We have Super Gamer Book Club. 3rd show, Super Later Boys, where we come out and just chit chat. And you can hear a lot more tall tales from JJ in that show, I'm sure. Sure of it.
And that's where I'm going to get the real stuff, the good stuff, the dirty stuff, the stuff that I honestly have been holding back, of which, trust me, I'm holding back.
Oh boy. So yeah, go support us over there if you want to hear some crazy stories from JJ. And I'm actually really excited. We haven't really talked much about what the form of the show would be, other than just like, hey, it's just us chit-chatting and telling stories and maybe have a topic. But I'm really stoked. So please support us at Patreon so we can make that show. Also, twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys. You can subscribe to us right here, where we record this episode live every Monday. You can watch us record it live, or throughout the week even. We will stream occasionally. Spooky Gamer Boys, just in October, we were streaming 4 times a week. But coming out of that season, we usually try to do at least once a week, twice a week. We'll see. Support us here. Subscribe here. You get sweet emotes. And again, that comes to us. And if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, which cost you $0. We get $5. And we very much appreciate all that support. So thank you guys so much. Let's get back to the show. All right. It is now time to talk about what you've been playing. So, Adrian, give it to us. What you've been playing?
I actually been on a Apple Arcade wave this week. I've been playing a little Sayonara Wild Hearts. That was the one that came out. It's like the playable soundtrack game, where it's a game that's the levels are based on the story are based on tracks of the album.
Right.
And that's not in any way a diss on that game at all. It's fantastic. so far. The visuals are awesome. The gameplay is great. And of course, the music is banging. I also have been playing, I don't know if you know what the taiko games, the taiko drums. Like at the arcade, there's that big drum pad and you take the sticks like this and then it's like a rhythm game where you have to beat on the drum in time with the music.
I haven't seen that.
So there's, you know it if you saw it at the arcade, trust me.
I'd probably see it. Yeah, I'd probably know it.
But there's one that they made for Apple Arcade and it is fantastic. You, instead of, of course, you're not going to beat on your phone, you're going to tap along with the beat. And they have a ton of different songs in there and the difficulty is perfect. They got, easy, medium, hard, extreme. Extreme is nigh impossible. Don't do it unless you feel like we want to feel like throwing your $1,000 phone across the room. So definitely don't do that. And then I've also been playing The Pathless. You remember that one?
Oh, yeah. That was one that like I feel like was getting all hyped up before it came out. And then when it came out, I just never heard of it. Or like
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened with it. It's fantastic on the phone. I imagine it's of course much higher fidelity on PS5 because that's the only places you can play it right now is PS5 and Apple Arcade. Ooh, right. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, it shows here PS4, Windows, PS5, and iOS. Yeah. Okay. Annapurna. Yeah, it's an Annapurna game. Yeah, I feel like there's all this hype about it, and then it just like disappeared off the face of the earth. I feel like.
I don't know why. Annapurna doesn't miss. So yeah, those three I've been playing so far. I don't know what it is. I just haven't had time to really sit down and pull out a console or anything like that. But my phone is right here. I pay for Apple Arcade happily. There's tons of excellent games on there, and this is only 3 of them. Tip of the iceberg.
Nice. That's awesome. What about you, JJ? What have you been playing?
So I was streaming last week some Little Nightmares 2, and
of course,
after I got finished, I started.
Okay, hang on. Let me stop you. JJ, you've been on the Little Nightmares train for like at least 3 months now. Okay.
Toot. It's great, guys.
Adrian called this. I remember him saying like, "Oh, here we go. We're gonna hear about this for the next 2-3 months." And sure enough, you're still talking. That's all you play.
Adrian's always right. That's not all I played. I did play Predator Hunting Grounds right now. The Predator game.
Okay. Switching it up.
That is a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, if you guys haven't tried it, a lot of fun, and it's worth a go. Love the Predator movie, the original, not so much 2. And Predators was okay, but I love Alien versus Predator. And so anything to do with Predator is a lot of fun. And so I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. I played a little bit. It's always fun to get on there. And it's not like playing a battle royale game, And so I love it.
It's more akin to Friday the 13th, where it's like the 4v1.
Right, and that's what I was going to say.
4v1.
It's just like Friday the 13th. And that's a killer game. So.
Or that one monster game that came out and flopped.
Evolve?
Yeah, that one I think didn't get a fair shake. I don't know what happened with it because it wasn't a bad game, right? It just wasn't.
It just I
haven't played it, but it's Dead by Daylight also a very similar concept.
Oh yeah, that's similar. Yeah,
where there's one big entity, somebody's playing as one big thing, and everybody's trying to get away from it or kill it. Yeah,
and people have used different skins on that, right? Like they've come in with Freddy Krueger skins.
Dead by Daylight has like a skin for every horror franchise imaginable. It's pretty incredible. Yeah. Now the Predator game, I played in the beta for that one, but I never played the full release. But is there like multiple maps? Are there multiple like how does it...
I don't think there's multiple maps. I've only played a little bit, so I don't. I played it one night this past week, so I don't think there's multiple maps, but I could be wrong.
Okay, all right, yeah, I just wasn't sure like how that works.
You would have got that on PlayStation Plus this past month. Did you download it?
I think so. I usually claim everything. I need to make
catch
sure
that before tomorrow.
Before tomorrow. Okay, yeah. I'll grab that one because I really enjoyed the beta when I played. But I've never dove into the full release because I didn't have any friends who were into it. But if it was free, then heck yeah, I'll grab that and tell all my friends to get it too, so we can play. That's cool. So Predator, huh? Anything else you've been playing? Oh yeah, right. Little
just
Nightmares. Just
Little
Little
Nightmares 2. Yeah.
Oh
sorry.
my gosh.
Sorry. I know.
He's got to do his daily runs. His
Yeah.
dailies. He's got to complete his dailies on it.
You know, and I want to get back into Red Dead 2, but I don't know what happened, man. I got into the streaming of Little Nightmares 2, and the game just takes over,
if
man.
You didn't forget.
Yeah. Hey, okay. Yeah, okay.
You got to get back to Arthur Morgan, JJ.
I do love Arthur Morgan. You know, I think I'd feel better if you guys got on there with me and played some online Red Dead. You know,
I got to get through the. I got to get acquainted with the world first. I got to get back in there. It's been
you got to finish that map.
many a moon.
Yeah. I've been playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I mentioned earlier in the show that I finished that. That game
Is it as good as everybody says?
is incredible. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The story is great. The graphics are insane. Like it's really is insane what the PS5 can do as far as the fast load times, rendering, everything. Yeah, it is a blast. I'd played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank on PS4.
Yikes.
And everything I ever heard from that one, everyone's like, "Oh, it's such a great game. It's an amazing game. Go play it. Go beat it."
Oh, you mean Ratchet and Clank, the new one, like the new part one?
Yeah, the new part.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you played Rift Apart on PS4. I was like, I didn't even know that was possible. Number one.
No. The original, like from 2018 or whenever it was, or
no, that one's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that one I just could not super get into. I don't know what it was about it. I just no, this isn't for me. But I jumped in the Rift Apart. And dude, I destroyed this game. It was so much fun. Like I loved the story. I loved the characters. Really enjoyed Rivet.
My feelings on the 2018 game is why I have not picked up Rift Apart. So you're saying that don't let that hold me back from getting that game.
Yeah, because I didn't enjoy it either. And this one I jumped into and I was like, oh yeah, 100%, I'm in. And
Garrett,
I loved it.
Did they do? You can tell me because I probably won't play it. Did they do what everybody was saying, which would have been the excellent Easter egg of when one of the universes that they go to being another Sony character? Like a cameo? Like, did they do like a Jack and Daxter cameo in another universe or something like that?
I don't think so.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Somebody had the idea, like, because you know how they go to all these different planets and stuff like that. Like one of them would have a cameo from like a Jack and Daxter or a Sly or something like that. Just, you know, because they all were around at that time, so it would make sense to be a fun little cameo.
Right. That would have been cool. I don't think that happened, or if it did, I missed it.
No, wasted potential.
Yeah. Maybe it's in there and I'm just an idiot and missed it, but no, I feel like I would have noticed Sly Cooper in the background, slinking around or something. But yeah, incredible game. I highly recommend it. It's hooked me, and to the point where I 100%ed it. I didn't get the platinum trophy, but if you look at the screenshots on our little competition we have going on the Discord.
How do you 100% it and not get the platinum?
Because there's other things hidden in the world that you can do that aren't necessarily completing objectives or missions or finding collectibles.
Stat based,
or not even stat based. One thing I got was I just sat in a lawn chair next to some characters or something. It's just bring pop sat blah blah blah. It's really dumb stuff like that. So if you don't find the little hidden interactive things in the world, but I got all the collectibles like the bolts and the nuts and spy bots. Yes, JJ.
Hi, JJ. Longtime podcast host.
Yes.
I'm curious. All of a sudden, Garrett, the non-game finisher, started finishing games a lot, a lot, and you started pushing everybody off to the side with your game finishing abilities. And I'm just curious. I know the theme and theory has been out there about you selling your soul to be able to make this possible, but I'm curious. Just completely curious.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yes.
You weren't here last week when we let this news go out. We've let the press report go out that we have an ongoing investigation of Mr. Morlang.
Oh.
So we are not allowed to
I'm legally not
discuss
allowed
the
to
details
discuss the
of the
matter at the
case.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
But let's just say that we have our top men We are currently conducting an investigation to see why it is that Mr. Morlang has suddenly been able to complete so many games.
It's fair.
However, there is that one game that he has had on his shelf forever. He's had a PS5 for a couple of weeks now and has not even started to play yet.
It's also in the PlayStation Plus collection as well.
So, we're not gonna just
okay. All right.
We're not going to discuss it at this time.
No
Further
problem.
details will come out as we learn more.
I'll leave that alone.
We'll keep it at
but
that.
I'm just curious. Do you ever see your kids anymore? Do you know what they even look like? That was where I was going with this. Like you have two boys. You do remember them, right? You remember what their names are at the top of your head? I do because they love Uncle JJ. I'm just saying.
My lawyer is saying not to answer that question. So.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair. That's fine.
Let's move forward.
I've also been playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. In that game, I thought the original Spider-Man game kind of scratched that itch and I'd be like, good. But as soon as I jumped back in, I was like, nope, I needed another dose. And this is fantastic. And I'm well on my way to 100% this game as well. I've gotten every collectible so far. Like, I think I'm only like on the third mission. I already have like everything unlocked, basically, like half the suits and like all the abilities. I am loving this game. Same hole I fell in with the first one where I had everything unlocked before I even got through the game. I'm doing the same thing here, and love it. Like into the Spider-Verse skins, obviously the best one. That's my favorite one there.
Oh, and the way it's animated on twos and threes. That's so cool.
It actually is animated, just like it is in the movie. So
that's so rad.
Which it kind of messes with you a little bit, at least for me. At first,
I heard it was making a couple of people like motion sick.
Yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to because the game's in 60 FPS, with on performance mode, and then like your suit is like almost like seems like it's like glitching out or something.
The way it was in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So doing the timing and combat and stuff, it kind of throws you off a little bit. But once you get used to it, I'm like, oh, it looks so cool though. I have to use it. I can't not use it. And the story so far is actually amazing. Like I'm farther than that now. I am, but like, I feel like I'm getting close to the end of that one now too. I'm maybe like 3/4 of the way through. And holy cow, that story is amazing. Like Miles is so crazy. And the story of his friend Finn and the bad guy, the Tinkerer. And I don't know, it's just this whole circle that like, I just didn't really know. Like I'm very familiar with Spider-Man, a lot of his villains, but the Miles Morales character, I wasn't super familiar with, at least before like Into the Spider-Verse. And yeah, so getting that movie a couple years back, getting this game, starting to get to see some of his villains and his relationship and his family. And it's like, oh man, like he's
his own man.
Yeah, he's his own. And honestly, like there's a lot of aspects I like almost better than
Peter.
Than Peter Parker, especially if anything, even the suit. Like his suit's way cooler.
Oh, his so, and like, that's saying a lot because the new Spider-Man suit is excellent. The one that they did for the PS4 game.
It is.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying that game. I'm getting close to wrapping it up. Highly recommend going and that's on PS4 as well. PS4 and PS5. I'm playing on PS5 and it looks gorgeous. But
did you ever play it when it was on the PS4, Garrett, or did you not?
No, I waited. I that was one I almost got on PS4. I'm like, nope, you know what? One day I'll have a PS5 and I'll experience this the way it's meant to be experienced. And I'm glad I did.
that bad boy on PS4.
I'm glad
the original Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, the original Spider-Man I played on PS4. I'm talking about the Miles Morales because it originally came out last year on PS4. But I was like, nope, I want to wait until PS5. So yeah, killer game. Highly recommend. And yeah. Go play that, please. Even if you don't have PS5. Like, I'm glad I waited for the PS5, but if you don't have any intention of getting a PS5 in the future, just go get the PS4 version then, because it's killer.
Play it any way you can.
Do it. All right. That's it for the show this week. Thank you all so much for listening to us and watching us here. We appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're watching here on Twitch live, watching later on YouTube, listening on podcast services around the world. Remember, you can support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys, where, like I said, starting at just $1 a month, you can get these episodes early and ad-free. Both this show, Super Gamer Book Club, and who knows, if we hit that goal, maybe even that other show, Super Later Boys. Man, every time I talk about it, I get excited. Get goosebumps. I want to do another show. That's just what I need. My wife is going to be so happy.
Maybe we should do one. Maybe we should do one and just hold it.
Just hold it and be like, just dangle it in front of her. Hey, we got this secret episode. Yeah. You don't
Make
get
it
it.
Evergreen.
Yeah, you don't get it unless you hit that goal. It's going to sit on my hard drive.
We should think about that. We should think about doing that.
That would be fun. Also, you can go over to sgbstore.com where you can buy our merch. We got t-shirts, we got stickers, we got mugs. Go over there, support us. Again, that helps us. Every little bit helps, and we appreciate it. Rate and review us on your favorite podcast services. Remember on YouTube to smash that like button. That's not a word.
That like bucket.
Hit that like button and subscribe so you know when our new videos go live. supergamerboys.com. Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. Facebook.com/supergamerboys is where you can find us during the week, as well as at gmorlang over on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you can find me. Adrian, where can they find you at?
They can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And JJ, where can they hypothetically find you?
You could technically find me on Twitter and Instagram at JJ Purdom. Good luck. But also, guys, if you can, stop getting into my DMs because I'm busy and I can't take all the DMs. So
yeah, he's got all that walking around to do.
Yeah, right.
Staring out the window.
I tried to complain about everybody sliding into my DMs, and I think Garrett misunderstood because he was talking about DPs, and I think that's actually a different thing, Garrett.
Alrighty.
So, yeah.
Okay, that's all I have for the show. Take us out, Jay.
All right. For Garrett, good loving Morlang. For Adrian, Homeboy Holmes, and for myself, JJ, the juicy one, Purdom, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
See, we didn't forget you this time, JJ.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, guys.
We would never forget you. We would never forget you.
You know, you literally did last week. Like, that's exactly what you did.
Discord's cutting up. Gotta go.
Yeah.